The gravitational pull of the street was very strong, and it was just very challenging for him. He's a knowledge seek brother. He was short. You know what I mean? And I don't know the struggle he had. His old dad died when he was younger, so he was still going through trauma himself. But he understood the duty of a civilized person. He knew what it was to be a savior. He saved himself, and he had a determination to go out and save other people. And I respect him for that. And I always loved Ramel because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? And sadly, he was trying to get it together. He went into the Air Force, due to his criminal record. He was dismissed from the Air Force, and I think he went into depression because for many of us back in the days, the military served as a way to get away, and just get away from our environment. And Ramel was able to pass the test, and his wisdom, his earth, she actually went into the Air Force. So he wanted to follow her and build a new life for himself. But, he got in, he went through basic training, but his records came back that he had a felony, and then he was dismissed from the military. And then he went back into the streets. So when I came home from the military, I would see Ramel, and I would just build with him and just kind of like bring him back. And those are some of my most fondest moments with him. He's very quiet with me at that point. He was no longer as vocal as he once was. He saw I was a changed person. And I have a picture of me teaching him how to play chess. He would come by my residence. I had my jazz. And we would kind of like build, but I realized that Ramel was kind of like, going in another direction. But I always remembered him and appreciated him for what he did for me. Sadly, today, Ramel is incarcerated. He's up north. And I've written him a few times and put gold in his commissary. And I was trying to get him to build, but he's broken. I think he's been in the penal most of his life. The last time I saw Ramel might have been about 2000, and he had came home. And I was happy that he was home, and somehow we made contact with each other, and I met him at my job, and I passed on some gold to him, and I was happy to see the brother, but I can tell he was somewhat broken. That the penal, really weighed on him, but he looked good. So I gave him some gold, which tried to help him get his foundation back, and sadly, he returned back to the neighborhood, and the same people who he saved, including his nephews, they gave him a package. You know what I mean? They gave him a package to sell. And Ramel
went right back.
He went right back. He was on parole, and he went right back because apparently, and he got smoked out. And that bothered me because his nephew who he raised. See, Ramel what was deep about Ramel, he was Haitian. And he came into his own at a time when a lot of Haitians were being discriminated against and bullied. It was a terrible time. People don't really talk about that. They was ashamed because of the poverty in which they came from. People, a lot of Haitians, they hid being Haitian. They said they were Jamaican. Ramel was straight up being Haitian. His mother spoke fluent Creole, and he put Haitians on the map. He made it. He just gave them strength and encouragement because he was a leader, a thorough leader in the community for a lot of people. So when he came home, a lot of those young kids who looked up to Ramel were now in the street dealing, and his family. And they gave him a package, and then he fell victim. Before I knew it, Ramel was incarcerated again. And it really bothered me because I knew a lot of those brothers that did that to him. And I was trying to save him because back then, my attitude was, we need you, Ramel. We in trouble as the people. And you have that magnetism to make a difference. People will listen to you. And he heard me. I don't know how he was in a penal institution because a lot of times you go in and it just changes you for the better or worse. And I think that when he was incarcerated, he just wanted to do his time, and he didn't have time for, he wasn't the way the Ramel that I knew him to be.
Right.
And that was very devastating to me. So I have letters from him now, but I can't get nothing out of him. I'm trying to get him to build. He's only asking me for money. I want to know more about your history. I want to know who was your enlightener. How you get now. So he doesn't even go there.
So that's like that's basically your tree.
Yeah, exactly.
Your tree, but he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go there.
He doesn't want to go there at all. He just doesn't. He just asks, can you send gold? I know you sent me gold before. Can you send me more gold? And I don't mind sending gold, but I'm just asking you some very vital questions that you don't want to say nothing to me. And I just stopped writing him because it got to that point. And I'm gonna send him some more gold, to help him out because he's never coming home. I don't think he's coming home, and his health has failed. He's had multiple complications with his health over many years due to the diet in the penal institution, which has contributed to diabetes, high blood pressure, and I think he's had a number of heart attacks. So it's a sad situation that happened with that brother because he was a light. you know, and he saved my life. He took me out of, like I said, that state of triple darkness. And if it wasn't for Ramel, I wouldn't be here right now. So, you know, I have to acknowledge him and his contributions to the community. And I never went back. You know what I mean? Once I got knowledge, so, you know, I never wanted to be in that state. I knew I had a purpose now, a clear purpose to save our people.
If Mecca did this.